Hello traders, welcome again to the weekly Forex Forecast, and this is Trade Forex with Gabe. My name is Gabriel Ojimadu, and I'll be walking you through market setups and projections for the week ahead, November 20th through to November the 24th. Also, at the end of this video, we'll also be looking at previous week projections, and I'll be walking you through all the projections we had for last week, how they are playing out, and in case you're in those trades, to exactly know how to manage those trades. Okay, so as always, let's start with the fundamentals. The week has some potential news that could change the trajectory of some of the best pairs we're trading this week, and that is Canadian dollar and the euro. These are the most interesting pairs for me to trade into the week. So we will be considering the CPI data that will be coming out on Tuesday affecting Canadian dollar. Wednesday, we don't have much to affect our trades except for USD, but USD is not on the radar. We've been having much of a whipsaw on USD for the last 6 weeks. It's been rallying and selling off, rallying and selling off. So this week is not on the radar. I would like to take a pause and see exactly, but we can still look at what the setups are in case you're in some USD trades. Then on Thursday, we would have the PMI data coming out of the Eurozone, and this also could potentially weaken or strengthen the Euro. So I'm not a predictor of economic data, how they're going to play out, but then I'll show you what the market setups are. And when the news comes out, then you can use that to manage your trades and also consolidate. It could also help to consolidate those trades to the positive or also to the negative. And on Friday, we'll close the week with flash PMI data for the USD. The strength indicator we see there that Euro still maintains the strength and is growing to 2.6 point. We also have Swiss franc also growing to positive 2.1. Pound sterling just moved from the negative region to the positive region at 0.4. And we have on interesting data. You see, last week we saw the USD move from a strong although throughout last week we expected some we expected markets to range a bit, but then the news data that came out with the CPI data also saw USD selling off and now on the negative region. So I'm taking it off the radar because we've just been having USD move from negative to positive, positive to negative. So for now, I'm keeping it off the radar. And I'm going to be focusing on, again, Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar still maintains weakness, and the weakness keeps growing because we're having also oil sell-off, oil price fall, okay? Also, I would like to focus on New Zealand dollar. This is also maintaining a losing strength from the previous week. So my best positive to negative net change pairs I would like to trade is Euro Swiss franc to the upside and Canadian dollar, New Zealand dollar to the downside. Thus, our best trades for the week for me are Euro NZD and Euro CAD on Euro pairs, and on Swiss franc pairs, I would like to trade CAD Swiss franc and NZD Swiss franc. After this analysis, we'll come back to look at the previous week's trades that we projected where we had the CPI data for USD. But let's get this over with, and then we jump into the concluding of previous week's videos. So let's start by going to the charts, and the first pair we'll be looking at is Euro NZD. Now on Euro NZD, let's look at the bigger picture. It's always good to understand how and why we're trading this way. So you can see we've been structured to the upside, except that price has not been able to break the last high. So we've been having that push to the upside. We're having higher highs also, so it's possible, the potential is still there that this channel will continue to hold. Okay, so I'm looking for a breakaway from this channel. So if you take it down to the H4 chart, you'll probably see this triangle more clearly. So the triangle, the pressure is to the upside. The highest probability of breakout is to the upside. So a break from this triangle will give us further rally up, and we potentially will take out this last high we had here. So Yeah, so this is the last high we had, and I'm really looking for a price break to the upside. So let me change the color of this a bit. Just a moment. Blue is fine. So this is where I'm looking for it. So my first target is to the 1.8357 and second level is to the 1.8474 region. That will be a wait, patiently waiting to see this breakout. So recall that last week this was also a pair we considered, but you see that price fails to break away from this trend line. We got this trend line the previous week where we saw the last highs, all of these points, and price failed to give us that breakout. Rather, we had a sell-off. But price was still able to make it back to the starting point and even rallied higher than it despite the sell-off. So it shows that euro is really strong, and we could continue to see that bullish rally to the upside on euro NZD. So the targets are given 1.8357 and 1.8474. So we'll be looking to trade this to the upside. Okay. All right. Next on the list is Eurocard. So Eurocard, this was fantastic from the last week. We've been trading this for the last 2 weeks and it's smashing its targets back to back. So going into the week again, I'm looking for further rally to the upside. So this was our target for last week. We smashed through it, came back and made a retest. So into this week, I'm looking for price to either make a retest to the previous high. That's resistance now turning support. Possibly we could see it even go past that and find the retracement down to the lower boundary of this channel before we begin to look for the rally up. So whichever plays out, traders, I hope you already understand it. So price is still trading within the boundaries of the channel. Nice textbook uptrend, creating these higher highs, higher lows, and we could see that continue. So the target is to the next level, which is 1.5065, and if we smash through that, we'll be looking at 1.5091 level. So those are my best pairs on euro, on the euro. Now let's go to CAD Swiss franc. CAD Swiss franc. Just a moment. Let's scroll down there. Okay, on CAD Swiss franc, fantastic. You recall that this pair, we've been waiting for the breakouts to the downside. So finally, we got that last week. So into the week, we have a whole lot to trade on this pair. So this is textbook continuation pattern. After a major downtrend, and you see price range like this and breaks down below the rectangle. All right, so this is your rectangle here, and price has finally broken down. So I would like to see a continuation. So for a long time to come, I'm only going to be trading the breakouts to the downside of CAD Swiss franc. Okay, so let's go down to H4. So we already see that momentum break because price needed this momentum to break past the lower boundary. So let me take this off. Okay. So we finally got that breakout. Let me take all of this out. This were our last, you recall all of this analysis we had, yes? So we will expect price either to make a retest before making continuing the sell-off, but all the same, whichever happens first, the goal is that we're coming down to 0.6400, or smash through that, we'll be looking at 0.6380 level. I like this trade. Recall, we've been waiting for this for the last, I think from this week. We started waiting this week where we expected the breakdown. That was about 3 weeks back, but it rather went up. But last week we saw the break to the downside, and right now I will either wait for the pullback so I can make a sell again, and it's going to give us some pretty good pips into the bank, about 57. So if we get a pullback, so that could make it up to 70 pips. So this is really conservative. So you could use lower time frames to find new entries, such as 15 minutes time frame. So you could look for the things like this, yeah. So you can watch out, look for the breakouts, the downside. Okay, so you could use all of these smaller strategies, okay, to the low to on lower time frames, you know, to get the exact breakout on your entries. Okay, and last will be NZD Swiss franc, NZD Swiss franc, and there it is. Okay, so on NZD Swiss franc, I think this trade also came out under the on our radar last week. We were expecting this down was sales, but it rallied, but still finally came back to our entry point here. This was the start of the week, and price still came back to the start of the week. So, by using Fibonacci expansion, my first target would be for price to break below this triangle. You see, we're already having a triangular setup here. One touch, two touch, three touch. We could have it retrace all the way up before making it down. So whichever happens by Fibonacci expansion, I'm looking at price selling off towards the first target of 0.5253. And if we see a break below that, then we are headed to the previous lows, and that's 0.5181 level. So these are the 4 pairs I'm going to be focused on this week. So you could also put it in your trading list, in your trading buckets, okay? If you wish to trade the way I do, or you wish to put it, you also agree with me that this is the best pairs to trade. Why not? Okay, so let's look at the previous week, because quite a lot of trades we had for the previous week. In the previous week, I stayed completely away out of USD pair because I know CPI data are so volatile, such a volatile data, and it affects the pairs really, really much. So I completely stayed away from it. But then let's still look at it. Some people still traded them and they cashed in. Some couldn't be that lucky. So let's look at USD CAD. Let's start with USD CAD. What was our projection for last week USD CAD, and how did it play out? So we projected a bullish rally, but then what we got was CPI data coming out to negate that projection. So, but then it still falls within the general framework of the logic of our trade. The logic of our trade is that we have a breakout from this major channel, and then price is expected to trade within the boundaries of this red channel towards the target. So despite the massive sell-off we had last week, where price did not break below this boundary of the red channel, so we're still positive on this. So if you're going to trade this, you possibly will be able to see, you know, this key area, and this is the area we're going to be looking and waiting for a breakout, and the target still remains 1.400. So in case you jumped in on this trade and you were caught up with that CPI data, don't lose hope. Price still will favor you, looks to favor you. You know, probably this week, you know, I told you the USD has been giving us some massive whips. So let me show you what the dollar index has been showing for, look at, this is H4. So this is 1 week, 2 weeks. So you see that sell-off, rally, sell-off, rally, sell-off, rally, and now we have massive sell-off again. So this is one of the reasons I'm staying out of the dollar for now. Let me really see what is the trajectory it's taking. So USD CAD, we'll see. Is it going to make it? Is it going to maintain the boundaries of this channel, rally up to 1.400? We only wait to see. But this week it is out of my radar. Next we worked on last week was GBP USD. We also expected price to sell off, but what we saw was a massive rally after CPI data. Now this is looking to change the entire structure of this pair. So if you notice, let me show you the bigger picture. So on the bigger picture, price was structured to the downside, but right now we see that that structure is changing as price has consistently on the daily charts now been forming new highs, new higher lows, new higher highs, new higher lows. And last week we also got new rally and creating a new higher high. So if you take it to the 4-hour time frame, you will see that we're breaking structure on all levels. On the D1 structure, we're breaking above the channel, and you can see the the momentum we used to smash through that. And also on the H4 channel, you can see that we've smashed through this channel and we're getting a retest. This retest is corresponding to a pullback that also matches the last high. So technically speaking, we have a change in structure for GBP USD. But again, it's staying out of my structure, out of my trade or bucket list for the week. And last we looked at last week was Australian dollar, United States dollar. Let's search for it here. AUD USD, AUD USD. Just a moment. Where is it? There we are. Right. Okay, so on AUD USD, this one has already changed structure completely. So we expected also a sell-off, but then what we see here is massive rally to the upside. So there's a lot of indication that the dollar will continue to sell off into the week. So it even closed the the week on a very strong momentum to the upside. So this is the review from last week. Our next pairs we looked at last week was Euro pairs, and we looked at Euro CAD, Euro GBP, and Euro NZD. So Euro CAD is coming back as one of the trades for this week. We've already analyzed this one, and we expect it to go to the upside. Euro GBP was a fantastic trade also last week, and I believe it's still maintaining the trajectory. So our projection for last week was a bullish breakout. It did that breakout, but we had a pullback, and finally price also resumed back in the direction. So the projection still maintains. I'm still positive on this, that price should rally towards the 0.8787 level. So this is still a positive trade going into the week. And lastly, Euro NZD. We also analyze Euro NZD is also coming out as the pair for this week. You recall, we are also trading it to the upside. So two pairs from last week is also resurfacing as the best pairs to trade into this week. Then we looked at Swiss franc pairs and CAD's Canadian dollar Swiss franc. That pair is already on the radar again for this week. Recall, it's already on the radar for this week. We're looking to trade this to the downside. Okay, so that is already on our radar. We also looked at Australian dollar Swiss franc, Australian dollar Swiss franc to the downside. So we couldn't make it price. We're expecting price to sell off towards the 0.5688. You see how price just was choppy throughout the week. Rallied, came back down to our entry point, and right now we're a little bit above it. So this pair could still be in the play, seeing that it's still within the framework of the bearish structure of this channel. Okay, so in case you are still there, hang in there. And then NZD Swiss franc. NZD Swiss franc, where is it? NZD Swiss franc is also coming out as one of the pairs for this week. Okay, so we still have our eyes on it, and we're looking to sell off to the downside. Okay, still looking to sell off towards the Fibonacci levels we marked here, 0.5253 and 0.5181. And lastly, we looked at on the Swiss franc pairs, GBP Swiss franc, GBP Swiss franc. Yep, and this is one interesting pair. We've been waiting for this pair to give us the final signal to start selling off. We're able to get the left shoulder, we got the head, and right now, can you see? We have the right shoulder. So what we're going to wait for is to see if price is going to respect textbook reversal patterns and give us a break below the neckline. And this is our neckline here. Neckline is 1.0997. Once price breaks below this, then we're trading the distance of the head to the neckline, okay? And this will give us something like this. So let's recalibrate this. And did it correspond to the key level? Wow, fantastic. Look at that. Look at that. Just give us exactly where the profit should be, and that's the next significant level. All right. So these are the levels, these are the goals, these are the targets. So guys, we've been able to review what the market holds. So traders, Why not? Don't forget, the bigger picture of this is that we had a breakout from this channel. We sold off. We had the reversal pattern after the selling off, which is the inverse head and shoulder. Price made a pullback and retesting the lower boundary of the channel. We're now getting head and shoulder reversal pattern again, meaning price is gearing up, setting up to sell off. Really, I don't want to miss this trade, so I'm going to set up multiple alarms. It's a fantastic trade we've been waiting for. I'm going to set up multiple alarm systems to just trigger me that this is happening. This is happening. I wouldn't want to miss this trade. I want to make big bucks from this. Okay, traders, I hope you enjoyed this video. If it helped you to become a better trader, why not recommend it to a friend? And in case you'd like me to make some interesting videos of interest to you, just let me know in the comment section. I'll be happy to help you out, understand how to trade and become a better trader. Okay, until next week, from my trading desk, this is Gabriel Ojimadu. Have a profitable week ahead. Bye-bye.